Hey, everybody. Hey there. Welcome to the Midday Moment. Hi, replay people. I heart each and every one of you in the replay. Yay. As we give a moment for live people to join us. If it's your first time joining us for the Midday Moment, welcome. I'm your host, Dr. Davina Jones. The Midday Moment. It is the place where we come to remind ourselves to expect great things. And we expect great things not because we ignore the questions of our day, not because we ignore the challenges of our day. We expect great things because we recognize that we're fully human and fully divine. And in our fully human selves, we got some stuffs. We got stuffs, y'all. And yet, in our fully divine selves, we got answers for the stuffs. So the midday moment is designed to make sure that you are tapping, tap, 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 to make sure you are tapping into your divine. Because when you tap into your divine, when you tap into your divinity, you tap into your river, your flow, your river, your flow of answers, joy, love, peace, righteousness in the Holy Spirit. In the flow of spirit, you tap into God in you, through you, and God as you. Yep, I said it. And we are not by ourselves. We are part of a large network called Kingdom. And we have a huge menu of Kingdom inspirations for you. And so I have some of the commercials on my Facebook page here. So you can scroll and look at some of those flyers and pick a menu option and enjoy. All right, come on, y'all. It's time for the midday moment. Come on. It's time for the midday moment. Here we go. It's time for the midday moment. Whoa, it's time. I'm expecting. I'm expecting great things. Everybody say I'm expecting great things. Whoa, I'm expecting great things. I'm expecting great things. Now tell me, where are you expecting at? In my life, yeah, I'm expecting great things in my home. Oh, I'm expecting great things all around me. I'm expecting great things. Yeah. Eyes may not see, but I choose to believe. You may not see, but I choose to believe. Them may not see, but I choose to believe. Sometimes I may not see, but I choose to believe. I believe in great things. All right, everybody. Say thank you, theme song. Thank you, theme song. And theme song says, you are welcome. Yay. All right. So that's been our theme song here. We're going at it almost, I think, 3 years. We started at the top of the pandemic in the backyard with no makeup and all my natural curly frizzy hair with a bunch of neighborhood kids, including my own. They shut everything down. The kids couldn't go to school. I couldn't go to work. And I just decided we're not going to be sitting here just looking at each other. And so we started virtual school, virtual homeschool in the backyard. And I started going live around 12, 1 o'clock, or sometimes a little later, just to encourage people. So it became a thing for me. And so now I'm still with it. Here I am in the middle of the day. Somebody told me, the nerve of you to come on here in the middle of the day, but your nerve is somebody else's necessity, and it's really my necessity, okay? And I share it with you. All right, so as I mentioned before, our singing We have a full menu of kingdom inspirations, and so check them out, survey them. Dr. Deborah R. Pulley with the daily download, 6:30 in the morning, right here on Facebook. If you're on the YouTube page, the other stuff is over here on Facebook, but we try to publish it in more than one place for your convenience. The Power and Praise line, we have the phone number on the flyer here on the Facebook page with Elder Katrina Johnson Smith. Luminaries with Elder Ronaldo Casares. And we have some more prayer options too with Better Living Kingdom and Love Alive. And so when I have those flyers, I'll share them as well. Point is, you got options, y'all. Okay. Can you type in here? I have options. You are always with options. I know you get used to saying it ain't nothing else we could do. You always have options. All right. Okay. So we have been journeying together in the book, dealing with the W, because we are encouraging ourselves to stop being two-faced, stop trying to be 2 and 3 and 4 different yous. It's a challenge trying to keep up with all them yous. You are a single you. Be you and only you. Stop trying to be every and anybody else. Stick with your own true feelings and thoughts. Okay, so be you. So we're dealing with a single you, not a W. The W is the person where it's the experience where you say one thing, but then you do another. You say you believe one thing, but then you start echoing something different. Hold on, I thought you said you believe that we can do it. Why are you talking all this negativity now? Okay, so stop being a double-faced, a two-faced you, because a double-minded person is unstable in all their ways. That's what happens when you double-minded. You unstable, and so in order to experience the type of stability in your health, your relationships, and in your wealth that you have an aim for, in order to experience that which you desire, you must be a single you. You must return. Come on, return to your first love and be a single you, all right? And so that's what we've been working with. And we've been telling you to stop gossiping about yourself behind your back. In the mirror, you say, I love you. But then when you're not in the mirror, you say, oh, girl, that, what? You talk about your body weight, and all that kind of stuff. And you speak negatively. It's okay for you to speak improvement without demeaning yourself. It's you can do that. Okay. Otherwise, when you say one thing positively in the mirror, and then you say something else, or vice versa, you talking about yourself behind your back. Stop gossiping about yourself like that behind your back. Come on, love yourself, whether it's in your face or behind your back. All right. And so we're dealing with the W, and the way we deal with the W is by dealing with the W's. And so the first W is worship. And so we've been talking about worship. What is it that we give reverence to? What is it that we exalt? What is it that we prioritize? And we have been saying that our worship begins with loving God, not this angry, convoluted God that we may have been introduced to early on. But we see God as love. We see God as energy. We see God as all, ALL, all. And we see God as love. And so I practice loving love. I practice loving all. I practice loving God as love. God as the everywhere, evenly present spirit of absolute good. And when I don't see the good, I take time to go into that experience, just as we see and read about in Genesis, to call out that good, to say, light, I've been feeling very aggravated, but I'm calling for good to come out of this chaos. All right. And so we exalt the everywhere evenly present spirit of absolute good as God. And that's a part of our worship. And then we've also been learning that as we worship God, we also learn to love ourselves, and we learn to share this love with everyone else. So last week, we really laid the foundation for worship, and that we worship God. We don't worship people. We worship God. We honor people. We honor our mother, our father, our caretakers. We honor Jesus as our wayshower. We don't worship Jesus, but we honor Jesus. Jesus said, don't worship me, worship Father. So we honor Jesus. We honor people. We enjoy places, and we appreciate things. So that was really the foundation for last week. Now, over the weekend, if you kept reading, you got a little bit further into that. And now we are in week 3. Yesterday was week 12. So we're going to do week 12, day 12. So we're going to go, we're going to elaborate a little bit on yesterday for day 12 and today for day 13. Right. And so one of the things each week as we read, you also have the option to monitor what you're eating, how you're eating, intermittent fasting, and so forth. And so we have those readings there. If you choose to participate in that, that's fine. We simply invite you to experience this as your soul desires. Okay. And so as we come into week 3, we are reminded that when we operate in the Christ mind, we don't have to worry about being double-minded. When we operate and we worship according to the instruction, we don't have to worry. It really helps us to do away with the double mind. A part of us being double-minded because our worship is all over the place. And sometimes we're worshiping things and peoples and places, not God. And that can create double-mindedness. All right. So we have some instructions here. We are reminded that worship has to come from within, and that we are encouraged from the reading of the woman at the well in John chapter 4, that as we worship, our worship must be real. Worship from within, a little bit coming out of the weekend's reading. As we come back into this week's, or as we go into this week, we are encouraged through the waysure, through the teachings, through the role modeling, if you will, of Jesus, that it's important that our worship is real. Your worship is not out there. I know we use external things to support our worship, be it drums and organ or whatever, okay? We use that to support and to complement our worship. But the worship is not out there. The worship starts in you. And in order to measure and to consider real worship, it's important that you take hold of some of these understandings here. All right. And so for day 12, we are encouraged that we worship in spirit. We worship in spirit. And so as I was reading through this, sometimes I come up with different kinds of analogies. And one of the analogies, or really the example that I came up with, one of my little movies. I'm not. May not be one of my favorites, but I like it. It's cute. It's one of my mom's favorite, and it's Pretty Woman, with Julia Roberts. And so toward the end of the movie, the gentleman who she has been an escort to, he's fallen in love. And well, he doesn't announce he's fallen in love, but he certainly has found a place in his heart for Julia's character. Vivian is the character's name. And he says, Vivian, I like to put you up in a condo and just, take care of you. So you don't have to live that life. You don't have to be a social worker. My dad calls them social workers. Okay. My biological father, he's very careful about how he names individuals. So anyway, maybe that's a story for another day. But well, no, I'll just say it since I mentioned it, because y'all mind go to wondering. My dad tells a story how his car had broken down one day, and he was trying to get to a place or whatever. Something happened where he didn't have his car, and he was quote unquote stranded. And he said the only person that even stopped to give him a ride was a lady of the night. And he accepted the ride. And so he's very, very cautious about how he honors his sisters. So he calls them social workers. All right. So, anyways, Vivian was a social worker. And so when Edward, played by Richard Gere, was making her this offer, she said to him, "That's just geography." And for some of us, that's how we have expressed and experienced worship. It's just geography. I go to that church over there. I go to that church over there. Oh, no, 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 no. I go to that church. Oh, no, 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 no. I go to that church. And it's great. And I encourage you to have an affinity about the church or group that you worship with, your gathering, your place, and all of that. I encourage that. Be proud, celebrate them. But that's just geography. That's only geography. Your true worship, it is from within. So no matter where you go, there's a place in you that gives glory to the Most High. There's a place in you that acknowledges and that bows to the everywhere evenly present Spirit of absolute good. There's a place in you that you take all of your questions, your concerns, and your issues directly to the everywhere evenly present Spirit of absolute good. And nothing takes me from that experience. Nothing interrupts that experience. That is priority for me. And so we encourage you to be real about your worship, which means to not just focus on some external place, but it is within you. And then day 13, which is actually today, which is Monday, is about worshiping in truth. And so the conversation that Jesus has with the woman at the well says that those that worship my Father worship in spirit and in truth. And so we encourage you, be honest. I love the way, I believe it was Reverend Burnett Jones was a guest speaker at an earlier women's gathering some months ago. And she said, everybody gets to have their own conversation at the well. It just you and God, nobody else, just you. So you can be real honest. You can, yeah, look here, I've been pulling them in, Jesus. This about the fifth or sixth one. I've been pulling them in. I got me a honey do this and a honey do that and a honey be this and a honey be that. I've been pulling them in. Everybody can have their own conversation at the well and be honest. You don't have to put it on Facebook. You don't have to put it on YouTube. I don't put some of my stuff out there, but it's some that I haven't, okay? But you don't have to put it out for everybody as long as you are honest at the well. I'm encouraging you. I gotta go. I'm on my break. I'm encouraging you. Take this time. Go to the well. I got this light on to help me look lit and cute. But sometimes you got to turn off these lights and just do whatever you got to do to just go to the well and be honest about your experiences. Be honest about what you're feeling. Be honest about what you did. Not out of condemnation, but so you can write in the sand, just like the other woman that they brought to Jesus, talking about she got caught. So be honest and just go on right down there in the sand. And just write to yourself. Go on and journal. Get it out. Yep. So you can do better. I love y'all. I gotta go. It was so good. I love you all. I gotta go. Thank you so much for spending this break time with me. I don't know if it's your break time, but it's my break time. So thank you for spending it with me. I'm going to get back in here. I got an appointment coming up, but I love you and I appreciate you. Don't be stingy. Like and share. I thank you for all your kind words, your comments, your gestures, and everything. Thank you, dear. So I thank you for all of that. I thank you for your offerings. I thank you for all of it. I thank you for your presence. Thank you for your presence. All right. Take care, everybody. I love you. God bless you. And God be you. I'll see you back here.